Evening, everybody. It's 7:21. I know it's a little late, but it was unavoidable. And I just want to mention I will not be around on Friday morning. Okay, today was a day of incredible turnarounds. Everything in the grains was lower and finished mostly higher, except for a small move in rice and canola. Everything else reversed on the day, as it did also in energy. Um, the oil was down below 80, 79.90, and it closed at 82.92 and was up almost a dollar. Nat gas continued its recovery, up another 5.5 cents, um, and another 1.6 cents tonight. Um, Gold was a little lower, it still finished down 10, but the futures for the S&P, which were much softer this morning, came back a pretty good distance. Let me just open that up. I know because it's this late, we have the evening session on here also. But as you can see, we were way down here. I was keying off this close, which was 44.98, and we went through that and stayed down there for a while, but then came all the way back and closed at 45.18. So we had a low of 44.82, and we closed 26 higher. So that was quite a move. Closed up 2/3 or almost 3/4 on the range for the day. Um, we do have some more numbers this week. There's not much tomorrow, but on Thursday and Friday we have CPI and PPI, and those could possibly be market moving. Okay, so I want to mention one thing. I don't know if I mentioned it or not before, but consumer credit was up big, 17.9 billion versus 10.5 billion uh, estimate, between 10.5 and 13, and last month's number of 9.4. So that's pretty expansive. And there was also a headline today that credit card debt has now breached $1 trillion. So, when these jackasses tell you about how much there is, how much money there is on the sidelines, and how healthy the balance sheets are, I take that with a grain of salt because it's bullshit. Um, we had, let's see, small business optimism. It was up slightly, 91.9, um, which was slightly better than the 91 expected, but down from 92.1. Wholesale inventories were lower. Trade deficit was higher at 65.5 billion. So, depending upon who you listen to, you're not getting the whole story here, and it's actually a disgrace. Okay, after the close today, we had Lyft with a beat top and bottom line. The stock had actually closed at 11.56, and on the beat got all the way up to 13.49, looking really healthy, and then it turned down. Um, and the close on it right now open for another 34 minutes. Uh, the evening session. It is trading at 1080. So it had a high of 13 and a half, a low of 1036, and now it's 1080, and it's down 1.5%. But it was a huge range line. Upstart, another one, another company that reported a beat, sort of. Um, a beat on dramatically lowered expectations would be more, um, the case. And this company, which traded as high as 401 in Q4 of 2021, closed today 51.75, and the last on it got down to, after the earnings because of the guidance, got down to 40.89, and closed, or is currently, 41.48, and that's down 10.49 or 20%. And it was a little bit lower. This one just about a week ago was 72 and a half. So 72 and a half to 40. That's pretty damn ugly. Okay, Disney, which reports tomorrow, made a deal today, and ESPN, a subsidiary, has a deal with Penn Gaming. This is just this has made all the sense in the world for such a long time, but I would guess that Disney didn't want the gambling idea to really permeate the Magic Kingdom and the happiest place on earth. But now that things are in flux there, and they brought Iger back, and he's kind of kitchen sinked it um, in the last quarter to make himself look a little better. And frankly, that's what all CEOs do when they're brought in. Um, got this deal between ESPN and Penn Gaming. Penn Gaming had closed the day before the news was out at 24.84, and that was down 17 cents. In the post market, it got all the way up to 33.45. The last on it now is 27.37. It's up $2.35 or 9.5%, but you know, it was $6 higher, so that's kind of tough to give up 3/5 of your gain. And Disney, as I said, reports tomorrow, and it's after the close. Uh, on the news today, it moved up to 88.13, up $1.30. So look at tonight, as long as we're here and it's open. Grains higher. Actually, the grains have not reopened. Oil down 15 cents after being up $1, and currently trading roughly $3 off this morning's low. Also, there were a couple of earnings reports, including Schlumberger. I believe it was Schlumberger, now called SLB, and it closed the day today. Let's see, regular hours, post hours, 58.57, up 60 cents on the day after being 56.08. And another one that looks pretty much the same, Halliburton, HAL. There was an interesting commentary on Fast Money tonight about the fact that energy is well below its long-term weighting in the S&P. The long-term average is roughly 11% weighting in energy. Right now, it's 4.2%. So there's a lot of room for energy to move back up. Now that we have Microsoft below its 50-day moving average, Nvidia down $10 today, all of the semiconductor, all of the chip companies were lower today. And in fact, the SOXX, which is the Philadelphia Semiconductor, has fallen in the last 4 days from a high of 536.77 to today's low at 503 and change. Last is 509.69, and that was down $8 today, or about 1.7%. The other one, SMH, which is the Van Eck Vectors Semiconductor ETF. Same situation. A week ago, it was 161. Today's low is 151, and the last is 153.66. That was down 2.25, or about 1.5%. Okay, folks, not much in the way of economic news tomorrow, but I will be back first thing in the morning.